Hey guys, welcome back to another week of e-commerce marketing chats with myself, Charles, and Jimmy. Jimmy, it's been a couple of weeks. What's been happening, mate?
Yeah, so obviously couldn't do last week. I was actually at an e-commerce retreat for the students in one of the academies that I'm a coach in, and yeah, I thought it was quite funny because I had a few comments saying, "Oh, Jimmy, you look so different without the red headphones on." So the red headphones have almost become iconic. But I was saying in the group chat this morning, I'm rebranding at the moment, and everything's purple. So I've actually just to keep everyone happy, I've bought some purple headphones to
Oh, there we go.
match the branding, and they should be coming this week. So next week's show, as you guys can probably tell, the red headphones are starting to fall apart. They've run their race. They're actually Nokia Monster headphones. I won them like 10 years ago, so they've stood the test of time. But it's time for an upgrade, and I am getting some purple headphones rocking up to go along with my branding. So yeah,
Very on
everyone.
brand.
I said in the group too. Look, if the red headphones mean a lot to you, is just in the booking notes for our meeting, just say, Jimmy, I'd really like you to wear the red headphones, and I can accommodate that for the students in there too. So but yeah, some interesting topics were covered. So this event was run for the elite members of this community, so they're all doing quite well in the e-commerce world. One of the guest speakers was one of the co-founders from the brand Oh Crap, which is like a dog like a dog poop bag, and they were talking about like biodegradable materials, compostable materials, and all the little intricate details that went into like creating that product. So it's a really interesting story. The guy was fantastic. But a few things that I took of that from that, like when they launched, they just focused super heavily on SEO, and they were writing a lot of blogs. They were making. I don't even know if this is still relevant, Charles. So it might be worth asking you. But they were finding search volume for kind of even search phrases that had like 77 as low as 70 searches a month, and they were creating like almost like a collection page with this description around it and putting just all the products that were related to that query just in there and having like a page almost dedicated for that query. So I don't know how relevant that is now or you're using that tactic, but I'd be keen to find out. It sounds like they did SEO a long time ago, so I don't know how relevant that is now. But yeah, the SEO was interesting, and obviously the other hot topic was AI, because the community that I coach in, we are heavily focused on AI, improving your business with AI, trying to get AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting. So we're trying to get people to have their businesses run 80% on AI and 20% human input. So, and it's not AI slop either. We're using AI for like the back end systems. So yeah, it was a great week away. I took the family away, great family time, hanging out with some amazing e-commerce people. So if you are in the e-commerce space, it's almost, I think it's something that a lot of e-commerce owners, founders kind of aspire to do, like build a business where they've got the freedom to hang out with other like-minded people and learn and grow and just see different parts of the world. So I know that's kind of why I got in it, for that freedom, fun, and adventure from our early mentor Charles Timothy Mark, absolute legend. Shout out to Tim. But yeah, I think a lot of people get into e-commerce for the lifestyle of it. So yeah, it's great to meet obviously the students that I coach in person, but some of the students, Google Ads isn't their primary lever, so I haven't had the chance to have a good chat with them. But yeah, just a really good week. And just circling back on what I said for SEO, Charles, what are your thoughts on kind of, I guess, category pages for almost unique search terms?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I still implement today for my clients. And like you said, sometimes, in my experience, you can find just because a certain, long tail keyword phrase or question or query gets a very few amount of searches based on SEM Rush or whatever you're using now. In my case, SE rankings. Now I've moved over, but yeah,
Hey, no
it's
no plugs unless they're sponsoring.
yeah, yeah. No, well, I can't start mentioning SEO Rush anymore, can I? Because I've been labeling them all sorts for the last few weeks, but no drama there. SEM Rush, it's is what it is. But yeah, there's definitely opportunities. Even if say a keyword phrase gets 20 searches a month. Sometimes, in my experience, when you go after those keywords, you actually drive more clicks and traffic than what the SEO tool suggests there are in terms of search volume. So one thing I would say, you got to take some of these tools kind of as a guesstimate or an idea rather than pure factual.
How do, how do these pages work, Charles? Is it literally just set up a collection page, write a good description for that collection page, and then populate it with products that are relevant to that? Is that how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, optimize the title, the meta description around that keyword phrase that you want to go after. Yeah, I mean, it was one of the first things that I look at when I'm working with a client. It's like, okay, firstly, I'm reviewing the collections on the existing website. And I'm like, okay, are there any that firstly need to be re-optimized? Or, for example, I started working recently with a sports apparel brand that I'd already worked with an agency before. So actually some of the foundations were already in place, like optimized meta titles, descriptions. But then when I looked at the site, they had certain collections linked to the navigation that were basically empty. So there was no products in those collections. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to review, okay, what collections are too thin? Do we need to add more products? If we can't add more products, but from a business perspective, then should we merge and redirect to a more established collection? Are there any opportunities to create new collections based on search volume, but also what products the client can actually sell? Because I can provide them with a bunch of different suggestions on new collections, but if they've got no products that fit those collections, then it doesn't make sense to set them up. So I like to, as a rule of thumb, I would say you really want to have at least 4 products on a collection minimum. If not, it becomes a bit of an uphill battle to actually rank that page. You can do the optimization, you can optimize the title, description, get an optimized collection description on the page. But if you've got one product on that page and your competitors have got 25 products with their competing collection page, it's going to be a bit more challenging unless you've got a very strong domain authority, you've got a lot of backlinks, you've produced a lot of kind of content on the site already, and you're pretty established. So
And
yeah, there's
how
various
much
variables.
how much is like too much, would you say? And when I mean that, it's like, okay, say you've got like a core group of products which are all circling around the same keywords, and you've got about 10, but then there's like, I don't know, like 10 different strong kind of keyword variants for those descriptions. Would you make a collection page for each, or would you just include all those keywords in one collection page? Like, I'm
Yeah,
trying to
it
think of a good
depends.
example without giving away kind of my own client examples, because I don't want people to jack their products. So
No, I know
let's
exactly what you mean. What you're basically saying is, you've got these different keywords to go after. They're all very similar in variance. So they're very similar. So do you merge a collection of all the products related to all of those keywords into one collection, or do you spread them out across various collections to rank for more kind of targeted keywords? The answer would be it really depends, because
I was about to say it depends.
yeah,
The old famous line from every marketer, and I say it a lot because there's a lot of variables that go into different things.
it's
And
yeah,
I
it's
think the
cliche, but
important part is the important part's explaining the variables for why it depends. So I'm keen to hear
yeah.
what you say now.
Well, because I've had situations where I've been able to I try and give some example here. So I'm working with an automobile parts e-commerce store at the moment, and they have they sell different generations of different parts. So say like wheels of a truck, and there's like first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation. You could create one collection of wheels, But actually, some people are searching for first generation wheels or second generation wheels for a particular brand. So building out those individual collections, I found in my experience actually is able to drive more traffic to the website and to those individual generation pages. And sometimes it's a bit of trial and error. Like, you can, it really is a case of testing it and seeing. And if you, like, for example, if we built out those generation pages and we're finding that we optimized the pages and it wasn't driving any traction, we would then merge those and redirect those pages back to the master collection page. I
Yeah, that
think
makes sense.
my answer would be also, it's like I like to look into the data. Like, let's test these things out, because no marketer 100% knows, or no SEO 100% knows until they actually do it. It's either based on previous experience, they've tested it and they found that it works, so they're pretty confident to do that again, or they haven't done it before and they need to test it out to see if it actually works. So yeah, that would be my answer. Really, would be there is it depends. There are some variables, and I think being able to test these things is key.
How important is like in internal linking from like those kind of pages in the description? Is it important? Like if you've got blog articles talking about the products, would you link the blog to that collection page, or would you go the other way and collection page reference one of the blogs?
No, I would go from blog to typically I go from blog to collection, and then
Okay.
obviously the collections linked to the products. Or if it's like a product review or roundup, which only typically works on a site that is selling multiple different brands, because if you do a product roundup of your own product,
Yeah.
it doesn't really make sense. And
Yeah. Hey, here's our worst product. Yeah.
yeah,
Can't see anyone doing that.
yeah, exactly. Or let's certainly, or even like our top, yeah, I guess you could, but they might not have as much traction. But yeah, that's how I like to do it, is from blogs to collection pages, internal linking, and then from there, obviously your collections linked to your products. But again, if you're talking about a particular product within your blogs, then link to the direct product page as well.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, like I said, this founder from the brand Oh Crap, like just he mentioned SEO a lot. And then, yeah, because people that mention they do SEO, but it's like, well, what exactly did you do? Like SEO is so broad, like they could have done absolutely anything. And then he did talk about those collection pages. He mentioned one other thing too that they did. I forget it off the top of my head. He was doing blogs. Blogs was another one too that they were using to drive traffic. But yeah, it's just interesting that a business that did that well. He said, yeah, during like they were doing SEO before COVID and seeing really good results from that. So yeah, the game's changed a little bit now, but I still think the fundamentals. I'm still seeing the fundamentals for SEO, like drive traffic to e-commerce stores. And I think the barrier to entry to create blogs is a lot lower now. People say like people are punching out AI slop, but honestly, I'm reading the AI now and it's more informative than half the articles out there anyway. So I don't care if it's written by AI, I just care if it's actually genuinely going to help me or answer my question. And honestly, that's what most people are going to be concerned about. They're not going to be reading it and saying, oh my gosh, a human didn't write this, when in the majority of cases, the humans that do write it are just outsourced from the Philippines almost. So, what's the difference?
Yeah, yeah. I think actually now there should be more focus on, and not that there shouldn't have been in the past, but there should be more focus on format and design of the blogs, because that's going to be the differentiator. Most people, the first barrier is there isn't really one, because you've got AI, but the second one is spending the time and effort to actually put the right elements on the page, whether it's a linkable table of content, an FAQ section at the bottom which is nicely designed, there's actually some styling to it, using custom images, adding potentially a video supporting that blog. These little things will give you the edge, and 9 times out of 10, the kind of the main keywords that you want to go after, I find in the top 3 on Google or even the AI overview, there's always something you can do to improve and beat those top positions.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
Actually, I read something interesting this week, Charles. It was the effect of the traffic drop off on backlinko since AI kind of
Interesting.
become introduced, and it's literally crashed. But the only reason that made me think of that, you spoke about like beautifully designed sites. Back in the heyday, that site was phenomenally designed when they did the redesign. It was so simple. There was just like massive informative guides. But now with AI, no one's going there. And I think Brian Dean, who owned it, sold at the right times.
Well, I think that might have been somewhat of a reason, is not just the fact that obviously AI is, showing answers to certain queries, but actually Brian Dean was the thing that pulled people to the site, to,
Yeah, that's true.
like aspiring SEOs, and he had a very good reputation. And I think the fact that he's not involved really anymore with the brand, people were just like, okay, we're not gonna, we're not gonna go to the site and read the articles, because he did really at one point, he not just had great design on those blogs, he created them almost like landing pages, but the
Yeah,
content itself was like really, cutting edge and up to date based on his own experience. Now is, the writers that they've got are probably just, any old writers, or maybe they're using AI themselves. So there's no first-hand experience, and I think that's one of the differentiating factors. It's something that, again, I go back to this client that I started working with. They've got, the good thing is they on board, they've got a writer with experience around the sport that they're trying to promote, because they sell apparel, and like, we can get first-hand experience and content in there. Yes, they might use a little bit of AI to write the content, but they're putting their personal touch on it, which Google really likes, first-hand experience. So that's something that I would say is, if you're able to put that into your content, that's going to be more valuable moving forward, because it can't be replicated. It's based on your own experience rather than just what AI's put together.
I had another thing to ask you too. I just saw this posted today, so I'm not sure if you've even seen it, and I haven't tested it yet. I was just trying to run a test now to see if it came up with it, but it's still doing a diagnosis. But apparently on the Google page speed report now, they're giving you like a performance indicator on how crawlable your site is for like agentic
Interesting.
searches. So I'm just running a test now, but it's still diagnosed performance issues for the site I'm testing it on. But I wasn't sure if you'd seen that or not at any point this week.
No, I hadn't, to be honest with you. That's something new to me. Yeah, no,
Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's just come up.
perfect.
So I've got diagnosed performance issues. Got agentic browsing, 1 out of 3. So it's kind of yeah, for this site that I ran, it's as far as I know, it's only been check here to ensure high quality browsable sites for AI agents and validate the correctness of web MCP integrations. This category is still under development and subject to change. So yeah, it looks like on the Google page speed report, it's going to start giving you, I guess, kind of reviews on how well your site can be, I guess, browsed by AI agents. And at the moment, the Shopify site that I just put in is apparently 1 out of 3. So probably needs some
But
work. So,
yeah, room for improvement. We'll put that one in the
yeah.
show notes then, for people to check that one out and try out their own store.
Yeah,
There you
definitely.
go.
So again, I'm not in the SEO world, so I don't know how like viable this. I haven't used this page speed dot web dot dev page very
Yeah, it's quite
often,
well
but
known.
yeah, okay. So yeah, that is in there now. So that it may be worth just having a look at it, see what it says, see if there's some additional things that you can add in there to improve your browsability for AI agents, especially with what everyone knows is coming. So
Nice.
yeah, it's got something here. It's talking about where is it? It's talking about cumulative shift, a layout shift as well. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it's a couple of interesting things in here for kind of agentic. So definitely worth checking out. I have just done it right now while we're on this call, so I can't give you too much depth about it, but just know that it is showing you a ranking for kind of agentic browsing on that page speeds Google page. So definitely worth checking out. And I'm sure Charles will be jumping to check it out after this call as well.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I always learn something new. That's the great thing about our chats. It's yeah, one of us will always pick up something that the other hasn't seen in the week, haven't they? So yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, and on AI too, like I've taking on 2 new test clients on the AI phase as well to go on top of some other clients that we took in the first round of testing for OpenAI or ChatGPT ads, whatever you want to call it. So that's gonna be interesting too. At the moment, I've seen the traffic come through. I haven't seen high conversions yet, so I've still got to just keep testing and tinkering until we find a kind of a system and a message that resonates and how we should approach these. So yeah, I'm trying to just learn as much as I can because I think it's going to be a valuable channel. I can already tell the traffic's there because the traffic is coming through on low spend. So yeah, there's an opportunity. I think at the moment, I think ChatGPT ads, I think the opportunity is probably a little stronger for service based over ecom. But I mean, if you've got a high quality, high priced product, it may definitely be worth a test. But yeah, my early testing is just suggesting that it may be better for service based businesses just at this early stage.
Interesting, interesting. So yeah, it's quite a high entry to barrier in terms of cost but it's also considering margins, isn't it? With e-commerce stores, it
Yeah,
has to
because
make financial
I
sense.
think on our initial call, it was recommending $3 to $5 per click bidding, but I have lowered one of our tests to $1 and it's still spending. But I tried to set it below $1 and it just kept coming up with a fail message. So $1 was the lowest that I was able to bid on the platform without getting an error message. I'm not sure if they fixed that or not, but yeah, I'm just in there testing and trying different things like everyone else at the moment. So anyone that's, claiming to be a guru and knows everything about it, they're just trying to grab some market share in that space early. So we'll share the wins that we have while we're testing that. So I know Charles is potentially getting on one of his clients to onboard to test that as well. So yeah, hopefully we can have some discussions around that form of advertising as well. I did have an interesting discussion, and SEO definitely falls into this a little bit. But so one of the students I work with, they're heavily leveraged on kind of Meta and Google Ads. So and the question is like, if you turn off Google and Meta, do you still have a business? And the organic stuff that was coming through is like the answer is no, you can sustain it. Whereas someone else I was working with the other day, they've turned off all their ads and they're still able to do like 20K a month in sales without kind of any advertising. But this is kind of it's a drop ship product, so he's playing in that drop ship competitive space, and it's like the play is Facebook and Google ads to drive traffic. But yeah, it's like, okay, at what stage do you start building other traffic channels that are kind of evergreen or free, basically? And I was thinking about the channels that you can do that on. So one of them, the big one, obviously, is SEO. But then we've also got things like Instagram content, TikTok content. This is to one promote products and also drive traffic to your website. And then you've got additional traffic sources like Pushout that you can install, which isn't free, but like the cost per month is under $50. So I'm going to basically put it in the free bucket. But yeah, email not free either, but I mean, you're paying a monthly fee and to send it, the email is free, but it's super important. So I think a lot of people that have businesses that are just relying on paid traffic should at some point consider, hey, how can we drive traffic that isn't a paid lever? Because I think it provides a little bit more longevity to the brand too. And if you're so reliant on paid platforms, it just takes one like Facebook account to be suspended temporarily or something happened to your Google ads and it's a huge It's a huge risk. So, are there anything that you're seeing client side, Charles, the student, I mean, that clients are implementing tactics, I guess, to drive additional traffic?
Yeah, I think the one that sprung to mind was especially because of the knock-on effect it can have with showing up for AI searches or on AI platforms is building a Reddit community.
Yeah,
So,
actually, that's a good one.
and obviously not just promoting your product, but actually whatever the market you're in, you build a community around that and you educate people, you interact with them, provide value and provide a platform, and then as a a knock-on effect that can then drive traffic to your site. And also Reddit's one of the most cited websites for AI search, along with things like Wikipedia. So yeah, I think having a Reddit strategy in place, I think is seems to be an important channel right now, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down from what I'm seeing. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's one thing
I've heard they are kind of cracking down a lot more on links and things like that now too. So I like Reddit's really kind of protective of their brand, and like the community doesn't like promotional materials how it is anyway. So it's one of those
yeah, you've got to do it
it's
right.
one of those platforms that, yeah, I was just about to say that you've got to like play by their rules, play the game, but there are some instances where you can game it. So you just got to learn the game and play it, and yeah, you can see some really good results from doing that. And then I kind of want to make an overall list of all the kind of channels and when you should use them, when you shouldn't. We should make a master list of channels. I think it would be useful for not only our clients and our students, but also the general public too, that's even listening to this, to just see, okay, I'm doing Meta and Google, like where else do I go from here? And then they've got a whole list of channels that they can explore, like SEO and email and push out and TikTok,
Well,
Instagram, yeah, just a whole world that they can go and explore to drive traffic to their store. Because yeah, at the end of
the
the
other
day,
one,
if you've got no traffic, you're not going to get any sales, are you?
no, absolutely. The other one is what we're doing right now, Jimmy. Is we're recording, I mean, a podcast as well, and you're building an audience that then gets syndicated and published across various platforms, which helps you drive more, generate backlinks to your store, often from good quality websites like Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're posting this on YouTube, which we can then create shorts and content from.
Yeah.
So
YouTube's a really good one too that I didn't mention. So
yeah,
creating a YouTube channel, Facebook group, community, yeah, there's so much you can do. It becomes a bit overwhelming for business owners sometimes, but yeah, I think well, let's commit to that, Charles. We'll start making like a master list of all the channels available to marketing, and we'll put together a well presented sheet and use Claude Design to help us make it look good too. Because gosh, I've been relying on that for good looking design, but and it's doing a great job. But yeah, let's we'll post it in the Facebook group. We haven't posted in the Facebook group for a long time, just because it's not that active at the moment. So if you come in there and ask a question, you're gonna get it answered by me or Charles, because we do get notifications when things are posted in there. So you can check that out at Shopify Marketing Secrets on Facebook. And then, yeah, we've just hit the 30-minute mark as well. So obviously you can find us on all the podcasting platforms too at E-commerce Marketing Chats. And yeah, we might call that a wrap for this week. And yeah, commit to that list in the Facebook group by next week and see how we go.
good stuff. Jimmy, just a quick one, just let people know.
Yeah, sure.
So we now actually have a website, riverside.com, which is what we actually record this podcast on. There is a feature, so you can actually watch all the episodes back. You can filter, learn a little bit more about the podcast. If it's the first time you've been listening to us, it hasn't got a custom domain yet. There's not a setting to do that, but you can find us at ecommercemarketingchat.riverside.com. That's
That's
e-commerce
cool.
marketing
I didn't
chats.
even know that.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. I hadn't told Jimmy yet, so that's the first time he's.
That's actually a really good play from them. They're almost becoming like a content hub as well. Yeah, imagine if they sort out like being able to search certain episodes and having all the transcripts, so you can just go to a channel and say and type in, "Hey, I want to find an episode that talks about this." It searches the transcripts and shows you which episodes and when it's talked about. I think that's great. I had no idea that was happening. So yeah, check it out. What was it, Charles? E-commerce marketing chats.riverside.com.
Exactly that, Jimmy. Yeah.
I think I'm going to check it out after this as well. So we'll leave that with you guys. Go check it out there, and we'll chat to you next week.